Welcome to Do-It-Yourself Home Improvement Plus. At Do-It-Yourself Home Improvement Plus, we do a lot of projects in the wood shop. And the most frequently used tool in the wood shop is the table saw. This is a Delta 10-inch table saw with an extended upper table and a Delta Unifence saw guide. Okay, this is totally adjustable up to 232 inches. As a 10-inch table saw, the blade is a 10-inch blade, however, it will only cut to approximately 3 1/4 inches. What we'd like to discuss today is using the table saw and in a way in which it is safe. Safety is absolutely paramount when using tools such as a table saw. Small mistakes or large mistakes can result in horrific casualties, lost fingers, lost hands, and other bodily injuries. So the first thing we have to look at is the adjustable fence. The adjustable fence can be brought all the way up to touching the blade or all the way up to 32 inches. One of the great hazards with a table saw is when passing a piece of wood through the blade with the hand between the fence and the blade. What typically can occur here is the piece of wood gets twisted and pulls your hand into the blade, cutting off 1 or 2 fingers. To avoid that, we use 2 different techniques. One is we lock our fingers over across the top of the blade as we pass it through and hold it firmly against the fence. Okay, in this way, if it does turn, it doesn't pull your hand into the blade. Although we do that regularly at Do-It-Yourself Home Improvement Plus, we recommend using a push guide. Push guide made of simple wood, make it yourself. Most woodworkers make push guides rather than buying them. Buying plastic ones can cost as much as $7 to $8 to $9, and they don't do the job any better than the homemade. Using a push guide, you'll lock the piece of wood into position against the fence and just guide it through the saw blade, such as that there, all the way out to the other end until it's clear of the blade. That's probably the most hazardous part of using a table saw is passing your hand between the fence guard and the blade itself. The second is way in which we can cut is what we call a cross cut using what we call this is a miter guide. A miter guide is totally adjustable from 0 degrees to 30 degrees in both left and right positions. That means you can cut pieces of wood at just about any angle between 30 and 90 degrees to meet your requirements. Normally in a cross cut, we set the guide at 0 and we run it through the saw in this fashion, okay, and make a nice, slick, easy cut. The hazard associated with using the cross-cut technique, or even when passing the piece of material between the fence and the blade, is the saw blade being too high. Normally, we like to keep the saw blade no higher than 1/4 inch above the material we're cutting. That does 2 things for us. It reduces the possibility of injury, and second, it reduces the blade from becoming overheated or excessively heated or too much blade rubbing against the wood material itself. So those are the 2 of the most frequently, those are 2 of the greatest hazards of dealing with a table saw. One is cutting your hand by passing material between the fence and the blade, and the second, not holding material firm against the guide as it's pushed through the blade, and third, having the blade too high for the thickness of the material you're working with. You can use a table saw such as this for years. I've used this one for at least 15 years and never had an accident with it, nor anyone else has worked in the shop, because we pay attention to the safety rules and safety guides and we practice them. and we don't take chances. So, as Do-It-Yourself Home Improvement Plus, we recommend you review your safety guides and standards for using any piece of shop equipment, particularly a table saw.